Peppermint is a new revenge action thriller movie that was brought to you by the director of Taken. Pretty sure the last movie that he did before this movie was The Gunman with Sean Penn. Take that for whatever you think it's worth. This film stars Jennifer Gardner, and in this film, Jennifer Gardner plays a loving mother. She has a beautiful little daughter. She also has a really great husband. She has a good life. Unfortunately, her husband gets mixed up in something accidentally that he shouldn't have gotten mixed up in, and it unfortunately makes their entire family targets. Then one night, while they're out on the town enjoying life, there's a drive-by shooting, and unfortunately, Jennifer Gardner's entire family is killed, her daughter and her husband. When she wakes up, she tries to go through the justice system to put the people responsible away, but the justice system, you know, they look at her and they kind of go, no, we need this to be a revenge movie, so we're not going to give you the justice you deserve. Jennifer Gardner gets pissed, she disappears for like 5 years, and then after 5 years, she comes back and she has, like Liam Neeson, a particular set of skills. One of those skills is she's hot as hell, but the rest of the skills is she can pretty much kill you with her pinky finger. Now she's going to exact bloody revenge against the people who did her and her family wrong, and thus here we have a revenge thriller-ish type of movie. I really like Jennifer Gardner, and I kind of feel bad for her that I'm about to shit on this movie a little bit, but first, let me single out the positives in the movie. And by positives, I'm really talking about positive. I'm talking about Jennifer Gardner, because there's really nothing else I can highly recommend about this movie other than Jennifer Gardner. Jennifer Gardner was really good in the movie. She carried herself really well in the emotional parts of the movie when she had to. She also was pretty convincing in the action scenes of the movie. Jennifer Gardner has done this before. She's done it in Elektra. Granted, Elektra is a really shitty example. My point is that she has shown that she has the capabilities of selling you as being a badass action heroine. In this movie, she does a great job at selling you on that. Her arms are on some Michelle Obama type shit in this movie. She is the one thing in this movie that is watchable, the one thing that is praisable, the one thing where you go, you know what? If the movie was better, I feel like we'd be talking about Jennifer Gardner a lot more than we are right now. Unfortunately, the rest of the movie isn't really that good because, like I said, there's really nothing else I can recommend about it. This movie is trying to be a revenge action movie. Unfortunately, it fails on both parts of that, the revenge and the action. Let's break down the action scenes in the movie first. They're kind of boring. I don't mean they're boring in the sense that they're not well done or anything. I mean, the action scenes in the movie are competently shot, I guess. It's just that when I look at the action sequences in this film, they are as run-of-the-mill and as paint-by-the-numbers as it gets. There's nothing really here to wow you or amaze you or excite you. All of the action scenes are shot in the most basic way possible. None of the action scenes are shot or choreographed or filmed in a way that would leave you excited and wanting more. None of the action scenes are as brutal as you think they should be for a movie like this. I'm talking about the kind of brutality that makes you get out of your seat, the one that makes you go, ooh, shit! The action sequences themselves are really nothing to be impressed or wowed by. They just kind of happen. If I could put it as plainly as possible, it's basically violence without any impact. Then we get to the rest of the movie, and this is where the entire movie gets bogged down because they failed to execute the revenge part of the revenge action thriller. In a revenge thriller, you have to set the characters up, and you have to set the characters up to have a powerful, positive catharsis because we want to see the people that did Jennifer Gardner and her family wrong, we want to see those people pay. So they did a good enough job at setting up Jennifer Gardner's character and setting up her family and setting up the stuff that happens. It's just they dropped the ball on everything that comes after that. Instead of focusing on the people that are kind of sort of responsible for what happens, they spend a whole bunch of the movie focusing on shit that we don't really care about. They spend a majority of the movie focusing on a bunch of cliche and generic ass cops who have little to no development and little to no purpose in the plot other than to run around and go, hey, Jennifer Gardner's killing shit. We should probably do something about that. And then they spend it focusing on these bigwigs, these other higher ups who I guess kind of sort of gave some of the orders for what happened with her family, but you don't really care about it. That's the biggest problem with Peppermint is that there's a whole bunch of shit that happens in the movie that the movie does not give you ample enough reason to care about. What we have here is pretty much nothing. It's just a mindless, boring ass action movie that for 2 hours has Jennifer Gardner shooting up a bunch of Mexicans, not to mention the fact that the title of the movie doesn't even really make that much sense. The movie is called Peppermint because her daughter in the film, before she gets killed, she gets peppermint ice cream. Sure, that could be a cool, sweet little thing if you wanted to tie it into the rest of the narrative. The problem is this movie does not do anything like that. It has no impact on the story, it has no impact on the plot, it doesn't get referenced later. In fact, we don't even really find out if that's her daughter's favorite ice cream, so I'm left wondering, why wasn't the movie just called Jennifer Gardner Shoots a Bunch of Mexicans? Of course, that's a generic-ass title, but it at least would make sense to the story of the movie. In the end, the action scenes were kind of boring in this one. The revenge aspect of the movie didn't work because the movie didn't set you up for the emotional payoff that you thought they were setting you up for. And a large majority of the movie focusing on shit that's not important or shit that you don't really give a shit about. By the end of the movie, I walked out thinking, well, that was the waste of about 2 hours of my life that I'm never getting back. This is the definition of a guilty pleasure movie, and that means Peppermint is going to get a one-way ticket to Smallville. Keep in mind, people, I am not referring to Smallville the TV show. I actually like Smallville the TV show. Smallville is just a part of Superman's lore, and I thought I would work it into my Superman ratings because, you know, I'm awesome like that, and you guys should appreciate that. A lot of people, for some reason, think I'm talking about Smallville the TV show. Couldn't be further from the case. Guys, have you seen Peppermint? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!